And welcome back. We're going to continue the conversation now around creating a deeper connection and re-establishing your friendship between the two of you. So let's talk date nights. Date nights are absolutely imperative in relationships. Unfortunately, though, what happens is we forget about them. A simple truth with regards to date nights is that date nights make relationships. So, I want to talk about why a date night is so important. What it does is it helps you to feel more connected and happy within yourself and within each other. It's a time where you get to build on your communication. It's a time where you can stay current with one another's lives, with what's going on in your lives, what's going on in your work. Is there any upsets going on in your world that you really need to talk about and share? It's a time for that. It's a time to be really supportive of one another. And with that, what happens is you grow together rather than growing apart. It's time to relax. Literally take time out away from everyone. It helps you both to grow closer and to rekindle that romantic spark. It teaches your children, if you have children, to be great role models. It's showing them that you value your relationship enough to make it important enough for you to have that special time each week. And what it's doing is you're being great role models for your children so that when they're older and they're in their own relationships and their own marriages, they then too will have had that as a role model to know that you need to make your relationship a priority, and date nights is one of those ways that you do that. It increases your commitment, and it also shows your partner your commitment. It creates stronger and happier marriages, absolutely, for sure. It helps you to remember why you fell in love with each other in the beginning. Gives you that special time, the time for just you and your partner. Date nights build the bond between you. So, common obstacles that get in the way to people having regular date nights are people say, in a perfect world, it would be great. We would have a date night, every week. But I often hear, but who has the time? We're just too busy. We've got too much going on. The kids are really busy. Work's really busy. By the time I get home, I can't be bothered. I'm too tired. We don't have the money is another one I hear often. Date nights don't have to cost you money. We don't have a babysitter is another one. And a babysitter costs money is another one. I can't be bothered. It's too hard. I'm too tired. I really, really don't know. I don't have the energy, don't want to make the effort. Another big one that I hear is, what will we talk about? My husband, my wife and I, my partner, we're really not communicating very well. We're not getting on very well. When we do talk, we seem to argue. What are we going to talk about? I don't want to get together and have a date night if all we're going to do is argue, right? So I'm going to share with you in a little while how you can communicate, what you can talk about, and it's certainly not any issues or troubles that you may be experiencing. Another one is, and this is especially when people have little children, is I don't want to leave the kids. And this can often be the wife or the woman in the relationship that doesn't want to leave the children. So what I would say is you've got to find people to care for your children that you feel safe with, that they're safe with, and that you can, so that you can relax and that you can feel happy to leave them. And the kids will also pick up on your energy and know that you feel happy that they are safe with somebody that you're leaving them with. This is imperative, and once again, as I've already mentioned, you doing this shows the children that you value and that your relationship is important. You're already overwhelmed with life. Life is very busy nowadays, especially for couples with children and working. So feeling overwhelmed with life already can make you feel like you don't want to make the effort. But really and honestly, it gives you time to talk and laugh together and reconnect together when you have a date night. How to overcome these obstacles or some of these obstacles. Let's look at the first one. We're going to look at not having time. So, one of the things you can do is to make a date night, a time in your diary, a priority appointment. So, just like if you had a doctor's appointment, or a dentist appointment, or it was, someone's birthday, a family event, you would make that a priority in your diary, in your week. You would plan your week around that. So it's the same with your date night. We need to now make the priority your date night. Make your relationship worth it. And everything then gets planned and prioritized around your date night. Have a specific and regular time each week. So if you're going to choose a Tuesday night or a Sunday morning for breakfast, or a Wednesday night, whenever it is, try to make it a regular time that you know that every week you've got this particular night or particular day is your date night or date day. And take turns in organising what you do so that it's not pressure just for one person. Make sure you schedule it in both of your calendars. If you run a Google Calendar, put it in your diary. I know for me, if it doesn't get scheduled, it doesn't get done. And I've had so many clients that I've worked with over the years that have said, we put 6 months worth of date nights in our calendar. And when they were all finished, we realized that we weren't having date nights anymore because it wasn't scheduled in their calendar. This is crucial. You must do this. Guard this time with your life. The only way that this time is cancelled is if someone is really sick or there's an emergency. This is special time for you. I want you to make it a no matter what appointment. Take turns in organising, as I've mentioned, and make it your sacred space in your relationship. So it's time just for you two. And this is a crucial part. It seems like a no-brainer, right? But you need to show up no matter what, even if it's only for an hour of uninterrupted time. You must have that every week. And there's a saying, if you're too busy for a date night, then you are too busy, full stop. So how to overcome money obstacles? Your date nights don't need to be expensive. You can see this couple here literally have a blanket on the sand by the ocean, and looks like they've got something to drink, a couple of glasses and a bunch of flowers picked from the garden. Doesn't have to be expensive. They can actually be free. You can have a date night in your own lounge room. I know of a couple that used to take it in turns in having their date nights, and he asked his wife to put the children to bed and read them the story, and she was kind of knew it was their date night. It was a Tuesday night, and she knew it was their date night, and he hadn't actually said anything to her about it. So inside she was kind of getting a little angry and like, well, what are we doing? It's our date night and he's forgotten, and why hasn't he done anything? And she was kind of getting a bit wound up. And he said, oh, honey, I'll finish cleaning up the kitchen. Could you please put the kids to bed and read them their story tonight? And she sort of, grumpily said, yes, okay, and went off into the bedroom and read the kids their story and popped them off to sleep. When she came back out into the main lounge room area, it was really dark, and she was like, well, what's going on? Don't tell me he's gone to bed and completely forgotten about our date night. And then she heard some very soft music, and she walked around the corner into the lounge room, and there was a picnic rug on the floor. All the furniture had been pushed out. There was some little candles on on the floor. There was a glass of, two nice glasses and a bottle of something special for them to have a drink of. And then there was some cards and a board game, and they literally, and a few nibblies, and they literally sat on their lounge room floor with some nice music in the background, having a chat, reading and playing a couple of games of cards, having a glass of wine together, and had a really beautiful night together. And that did not cost them anything. They didn't have to go anywhere. They didn't have to get dressed up. So it doesn't have to cost you money. You can pack a picnic and go to a park. You can be on your lounge room floor, as I've just mentioned. You can simply go for a walk, holding hands by the river, down the beach, in the forest somewhere, in the bush. Go for a walk, take a little picnic, take some fruit or some sandwiches. It doesn't have to be expensive. If you want to do something fancy, but you really don't have the money, that's okay. You can still do it, but get dressed up, wear your nice, a pretty dress, and you fellas, you get dressed up in a nice shirt and pants or a jacket if you need to, and go to a special hotel or a classy hotel, and have a drink in the lobby and just enjoy the ambiance and the environment. You don't have to buy a meal, but you can find somewhere in the lobby and have a couple of drinks, and you can still be in a really classy environment and a beautiful place if you want to do something fancy and you don't have the budget that allows. And the next thing is that make a budget for your date nights, even if it's $20 a week, or putting a little bit of money aside out of your budget so that you can have this special time. Investing into your relationships in the long run is way cheaper than counseling or any other thing that you would do. So it's really important to make your date night. It doesn't have to be expensive, as I say. How to overcome childcare obstacles. I understand that childcare can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be expensive or stressful. You could trade childcare with another couple. If you are a couple that have young children, I dare say you probably have friends that have young children as well. So it could be a win-win for both couples. Monday night's your night, Wednesday night's their night, and you look after each other's children. What it means is that both families are going to have parents who are happy and connected, and being great role models to their children. Ask a trusted family member, if they can help you out. Explain to them that, you really want to keep your relationship strong and healthy, and you believe that date nights are one of the things that can do that. I absolutely know that you will have people in your family that will agree with you, that will be really proud of you for doing for wanting to have a date night and putting effort and investing into your relationship. I'm sure they'll support you in looking after your children. It also gives your children an opportunity to build a deeper relationship with a grandparent or an auntie or an uncle, or a cousin, that's really important too. Look for a safe, reliable and inexpensive babysitter. There is lots of young girls or guys for that matter, who are maybe training in the daycare or the early childhood area, and want some pocket money while they're doing their education, and happy to do a couple of hours babysitting. And they'll read stories and play with them, and they can do arts and crafts and pop them to bed, no problem. Children are really very resilient, and if you actually show them that you trust who they're with, that they're safe, then they actually will pick up on that energy from you. And remember, by showing your children how important your relationship is, and that you are nurturing them by ensuring that your relationship is healthy, that it's strong, that it's secure, and obviously that it lasts, because a relationship breakdown is really, really hard for children, and it has a lasting impact. So you want to have your relationship really strong and healthy for your children as well. what not to do on a date night. Now you think, well, obviously there's got to be some things, but you don't want to do the same old thing. You don't want it to become boring. You want to have fun. You want there to be excitement. It doesn't have to be expensive excitement, but you want it to be a bit varied and different, interesting. That's why it's a great thing to actually take turns in organising it. And don't make it a competition. I did it better than you did. Don't, no comparing. Just, be a bit creative and have some ideas. Each of you will have different ideas. Don't underdress for it. Now, what I mean is, if you're at home, it doesn't really matter. But if you are going to go out for a meal or to a movie or something, you want to make sure that you make an effort, not only for yourself, but for your partner. If you don't make an effort, and you haven't had a shower and you smell bad, you're all sweaty and smelly and dirty from the day, that's not going to lead to a lovely, romantic and intimate evening. So make an effort. Ladies, if you're going out, put on your pretty dress, maybe do your hair, put some makeup on, some nice perfume. And fellas, have a shave, have a shower, and make an effort. Let your wife know or your husband know that you've made an effort for them. Please do not be disorganised. If it's your turn to organise the date night, make sure you make a reservation. Make sure you've done a little bit of research. Put a bit of effort in beforehand. There's nothing more disappointing than looking forward to going out for a date night and, it's not your turn to organise it, so you're a little excited, wondering what they're going to do. And it comes to the time and there's a big mad rush because there's no dinner date booked, the restaurants are full, the one that you wanted to go to maybe not open on a Tuesday night. So you really want to be a bit organised with it. Think about it. Don't make it a last minute thing. Now, some couples say, oh, we're just going to stay home and watch TV together on Netflix. Now, look at this couple, right? They seem pretty happy. She's in her dressing gown. He looks like they're actually even in bed. And they're looking at their laptop and they're obviously, enjoying what they're doing. And whilst enjoyment is a part of date nights, it's about the connection. Right now, these two people are connecting with the laptop and whatever is going on in the laptop. They're not actually connecting with one another. So don't watch TV or Netflix, or if you can go to a movie, make sure that there is a component of the evening where you're having a meal together or you're talking. It's not just about the movie or watching something on TV. You want to have some time where you are actually connecting. It's not time for you to be scrolling through your Instagram or your Facebook feed or taking phone calls. Put your phone on silent. This is uninterrupted you time. It's not time to discuss any issues or problems either. It's a time for you to enjoy, to laugh, to have fun, to be a bit silly, and to really just relax together and start to rebuild that connection. It's not a time to be shared with anybody else. Sometimes I hear, we went on a date night and some friends came with us. No, 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 no. You have your date night just for you two. You can go out other times with your friends, but this is your sacred time together and not to be shared. It's not to be only your choice or preference, because that can come across to your partner as being a bit selfish. If you like seafood but your partner doesn't like seafood, then don't choose a seafood restaurant, unless you know that there's absolutely going to be yummy, scrummy, delicious steak or pasta or whatever that your partner really likes. So be thoughtful about what you choose and what you organise, making sure that you've been thoughtful for your partner's choices. Show them that you care, that you've made an effort. Never be ungrateful, criticise, or judge any effort that your partner has made. Like if they've gone to a special effort and they've, organised a restaurant and that they asked for a particular table, but when you got there, the table wasn't available for some reason, or you would rather have sat by the window to see the river or the ocean, but that wasn't available. Don't be ungrateful about the fact that you didn't get it exactly as you wanted it. Just really enjoy what has been organized for you, and enjoy it. Making a date night a priority shows your commitment to each other and also to your relationship. Plan your date night, afternoon or morning, whichever it is. It is your sacred time to honour your relationship and each other. It's a pre-planned regular commitment. It's a 2 hours to connect, to learn about each other, learn about what's important in your life, what's going on in your life. It's a time to forget about the rest of the world. Forget about work, forget about home life, forget about kids, forget about family, friends. It's a time just for you two to focus on each other, to really talk and listen to each other without any other interruptions. What happens when you do this is it deepens your friendship. It creates closer connection and intimacy. And you'll be surprised the difference that it makes. It's about bringing more fun and laughter together into your relationship. Enjoy being together again. You remember when you first got together and you used to laugh and have fun, and you were curious about getting to know one another and what you liked and what you didn't like. And that's what happens when you go on a date night and you actually consciously create that. You want to create appreciation and gratitude for your partner and for your relationship. And by having a date night, you are showing that commitment to each other and to your relationship. So one of the questions I get asked is, so what do we talk about? When couples are feeling a bit stressed, or they've had a crisis, or they're feeling upset, or there's tension and stress. The thought of going on a date night actually can create a lot of anxiety and a lot of tension around, well, what are we going to talk about? How are we actually going to stay out of the arguments and any upset? So this is a great opportunity to learn about each other on a much deeper level. And I dare say this is probably not the type of conversation that you've had for quite some time. Yet, when you first got together, you would have definitely had this kind of conversation because you would have been curious about who your partner is, what they're about, what their interests were, what made them excited, what inspired them. Those kinds of questions you would have been curious and wanted to know about because you were eager to get to know them on a deeper level. When we are together for a while, we actually stop doing this. And this is what breaks down our communication as well, because we actually ultimately feel like our partner doesn't really care about us because we feel like they're not interested. May not be the case, but that's how it feels. So what we're going to do when we're on this date night is to ask open-ended questions. So what that is questions that you're going to ask a question that's going to expand the conversation. When you ask open-ended questions, you usually will start with, so what was that about? Or what does that mean to you? How did that happen? Oh, what happened there? Who was there and what was it like? You're expanding the conversation. Be genuinely interested and curious about what your partner's answers are. You'll be surprised. You'll definitely learn something about them. And the big thing, especially for the fellas, is I want you to realize you do not in any way have to fix anything in this conversation. It's a conversation for exploration. It's a conversation for getting to know one another at a deeper level only. When you ask closed questions, which are questions that have a yes or a no answer, so do you like that? your next question is going to be yes or no, and see how the conversation kind of ends at that point. Whereas if I said to you, well, what is it that you like about that? You're actually going to then talk to me about what it is that you like. Whereas if I say, do you like it? It's just yes or no, I do or I don't like it. So closed questions are questions that shut a conversation down. Open-ended questions are questions that open and expand the conversation. So when you say, did you, are you, do you, they're all kind of questions that are going to close the conversation down. I have got in the training portal a list of open-ended questions. I suggest that you print it out and take it with you, or put a copy of it in your phone, and choose your favorites. I guess just choose 5 favorite questions that you would like, and your partner's going to know that you're using the question. That's okay, because all that's going to do is show them that you are actually genuinely interested and you're genuinely wanting to create a deeper connection and expand on your relationship. A date night really gives you both us time, which is so important. When you are with your partner, you want to start to admire and appreciate your partner. Now, when you have had a stressful time or there's been issues going on in your relationship, this is one of the things that is always missing: admiration and appreciation for one another. And it's amazing how much of a difference when you feel admired by your partner or you feel appreciated by your partner. For a woman, it's usually admiration that she wants to feel. And for a man, it's usually appreciation that he wants to feel. So when we start to do this for each other, it makes a huge difference to how we feel about ourselves, number one, but also how we feel about our partner, number two, and then thirdly, how we feel about our relationship as a whole. So make a conscious effort to notice the little things. By that I mean the fact that you said goodbye nicely and kindly. It's a little thing. You made a cup of tea and brought it to your partner. You left a little chocolate on the bench. You left a little note saying, I love you. You sent a text message saying, have a wonderful day, I'm thinking of you. I appreciate that beautiful dinner you made last night. Thanks for doing all my washing and keeping such a beautiful home. Thanks for earning the money so that I can be at home with the children. All those little things that we do, aren't recognised and are forgotten about and actually get taken for granted. Put your expectations and your judgments away when you're on your date night. Share your admiration and your appreciation for your partner. Express your gratitude and appreciate yourself too. So, if it's your turn to organise the date night and you've, organised a lovely place, then, appreciate yourself. Say, I did a good job. Well done to me. And be thankful. This is a lovely quote from Oprah. Be thankful for what you have, and you'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never ever have enough. If you really, really take that in, that is such a powerful statement by Oprah. A date night could also lead to a little fun in the bedroom. Just saying. So date nights create connection and intimacy. They create a deeper friendship, deeper understanding. They create that space in your life and in the world that I believe feeds and nourishes your relationship. And if you do this on a weekly basis, you're actually safeguarding your relationship for the long haul and the long term. What ultimately happens is you both end up feeling loved, you feel heard, you feel understood, and actually you feel cared for and important to your partner and that your relationship is important to each other. So, your weekly exercise for the next 12 weeks is to book in your diary a non-negotiable date night or date morning or date afternoon, whatever works with your life better. Actually, to put it in your calendar today, tonight, for the next 12 weeks. And then decide who is going to organize the first one. And this is a non-negotiable. And then what I want you to do is when you're on your date night, I want you to take a photo and share it with us in the Facebook group. And when you share it with us, tell us where you've been, what you've done, and how your night's been. Remember, it doesn't have to cost money. It's about creating connection, restoring the love, and making you both feel special and loved. Looking forward to talking to you again really soon. Bye for now.